In our organization, normally, if you go every organization, there is a PI and PO systems here, right? So why we have the PI and PO systems? Why it's required? So normally, previously when they have started that the history of it is called the XI. Then after that, slowly they have changed their versions to the PI. Now it's a PO. Now it's a PO systems here. So here XI is the dual stack, ABAP stack and Java stack. PI also ABAP stack and Java stack systems are there. So PO is purely Java stack system only, Java stack only Java stack system, that is called the advanced adapter engine extend, that functionality we have to enable it here, which means during the installation time, it will ask you to, so please choose the either portal, ADS or whatever IRJ portal, whatever you options you select it. So based on that, your base Java system on top of ADS components will be installed, right? Same as like here, the Java system and base will be installed here. The base will be installed here, right? So then PO, so normally in the organization structures, like every organization, there is a structure actually. Every organization, there is a minimum landscape here. The main system is for the ECC for them, right? For every business, ECC is the main transactional system here. Then after that, they have the one more second main system is the BW systems here. BW system, warehouse. So then after that, maybe if they are using the any customer relationship systems, they have the CRM systems also available in the landscape here. CRM, maybe SRM systems, if they have, then SRM systems, right? SRM systems also they have in the landscape. So maybe if they are using the portal, so portal systems, then they can also use the portal. Portal means through URL we will log in, right? Portal systems. So we will use multiple technologies, right? But main is the ECC here. A main business will do work in the ECC only, transactional system here. This is the historical data will be saved here. Historical data will be saved in this location here. So CRM means customer relationship management. CRM means customer relationship management system here. Only customer relationship management system. So they have also some different businesses here. Then SRM, so sales relationship management. Portal system is a federator portal. Portals are there. The ATM print and machines, they will use this portal systems and everything here, right? So on the banking side, so portal systems, everything will be now in the URLs. We will log into the URL, then we will pull the data from the backend systems, we will adapt it and we will do it, right? Same thing like portal also here. So these are the minimum systems in every company here. So ECC, BW, CRM, SRM, portal, and so we have the PO systems also should be required here. If you have all, then you have the PO systems also here, it's required. PO means process orchestration. PI means just they have changed the naming convention. The functionalities are same here. So normally this PO, there is a interfaces concept here, the channels concept here. The PO, there is a interfaces, the channels concept here. So what will happen with this one PO system? So it kind of exchanging the data in the form of messages to so other systems here, exchanging the data. So here user will log in and he will do the transaction here. Then the PO system will pick up the data. The PO system will pick up the data. The data it will pick up via interface. In the interfaces, what type of interfaces? Like it's a file, what type of channels here? There is some adapters here. In the PO, there are some adapters are there here. The mainly the file adapter, SFTP adapter, so JDBC adapters. Then so we have the RFC adapters, IDOC adapters. There the adapters are there here to pick up the data, to convert the data, to change the data here. Adapters are there here, right? So these adapters in the PO system, so the functional team will do the mapping here. Functional team will do the mapping from PO to here. From our responsibility is creating the RFC destinations from PO to ECC, ECC to PO, and this two, and one more system, and this two here, and this two here, and this two, one more system, and this two. So like this, we can exchanging. PO will connect to the multiple systems here. PO system will connect to the multiple systems here. PO system will connect, and via interfaces, via channels, sender channels, receiver channels are there. There is a concept here, channels concept. So it will establish the connection to here. Then if suppose if you choose the IDOC, via IDOC, so here the users will do the transactions, means the data will be generated here. So that data you want similar data to the here BW, warehousing functionality. So suppose if we want to some warehousing functionalities, some historical data, you want to view the historical data, then PI will pick up the data from the ECC, will transfer this data to the BW system, will transfer the data to the BW system. So maybe here while picking up, it will come to the PO system. Here some records will be added. Then some data will be sent to the here, or it will pick up the data from the CRM, exchanging the data. Then while coming to the PI, it will add the some more records will be added to the in that file, in the XML file, in the messages it will add to the here. Then it will transfer to the here. So here the PO is exchanging the information, exchanging your data between the systems. We need a PO system. Here PO will play the critical roles here. Because most of the organization we may face the multiple issues here on the PO system. Why? Because PO, suppose you have the third party systems are there, some banking servers, some third party servers are there. This is banking servers, banking sites. So at the end of the day, you need to transfer the you need to some settlements. So settlement has to be done into the some access bank or something like here, right? So they will establish the connectivity here by exchanging the certificates and everything. The channels they will exchange the certificates here. Then it will the payment should be processed. The person payment should be processed from it will pick up from ECC. So then ECC is the main thing here. Then the payment should be processed to the here in the banking server, third party. So but here the payment should be processed here. Some in case of PO is not responding, this channel it won't pick up any data, it won't process any data here. But as per the banking rules, if any payments are after the cutoff time, normally there is a cutoff time, right? If any payments are coming receiving after cutoff time, then so company organization has to pay the penalty, right? They will have to pay the penalty to the bank. So if you miss 1 hour also, 1 hour also PO is not functioning, not sending the data to the here, then there is a penalty. We may have to pay the penalty here. So to avoid that kind of things, PO is the some kind of some kind of functionalities like it's a very critical. PO systems are also very critical for the business here. Why? Because of PO system, your payments are delayed. Your payments are delayed. Your orders are delayed. Your orders are getting delayed here, right? So orders are getting delayed here. So that may be caused by some information. You book the order, that order should process to the some other systems historical data. So if the orders are not processing, definitely there is a issue, right? So here PO is mainly for the exchanging the information. It's connecting to the multiple systems via SLD, either ECC, CRM, SRM, portal. So BW, all the systems we have to integrate into the SLD. So why? Because PO is required all the systems data. Why? Because PO will have to connect to the all the systems here. So functional team, they will establish the connect, they will do the integrations, mapping part, however, whatever the business wants. Some of the Ariba interfaces, some HDFC bank, some of the AF bank interfaces, there are multiple banks, they will integrate it here. So automatic payments, everything will go, right? So via interface only, via PO only, everything should go here. So if something got delayed, something got corrupted, then so it maybe create the some noise in the system, right? So that's the reason. So how the ECC is very important. The next system is the PO also very important here. Why? Because here the transactions happens, the loans, the payments, cards, everything will happen in the ECC. But sometimes it may go to the banking sites. It's required the data. Sometimes we may have to settle the amounts in the system. So that's the reason it's a very dangerous system. PO systems are the same as like Java systems only. It will transfer the data. So there is a procedure to achieve these kinds of concept, like picking the data, adding the some records, transferring to the third party or banking sites. There is some configurations. So here we have to register all our SAS systems into the SLD. Then system is available. Then here we have to create the business systems. For the technical systems we will create it. Then PI functional team, PI team is available. Purely PI team, what they will do, they will do the mappings. Like, so once the data picked from the ECC, then it should come to the here, it will add the some segments and records, then it will go to the BW. So something like that, they will create the interfaces. They will create the interfaces and mapping. They will perform it. The overall picture is PO picking the data, transferring to the other system. So, but how to pick it out? What type of data? How to convert the data? So they have the some functionalities in the adapters functionality in the PO system. That adapters will process the data to one system to another system. It will convert the data here. So here PI team will establish the interfaces between all the systems. So the interfaces will always point whenever transaction happens, as per the interface will point to the every minute, every 2 minutes, every seconds, always will point to the here. In this poll, it is point to the here. In this polling time, there is no data, nothing, no data will be transferred. In this, when the polling time, there is a data in the folder, it will pick up the data, it will come to the here, it will convert that file into the PDF format or Excel format, then it will send to the banking system or BW system or CRM system or SRM systems here. It will transfer the data here. So PI, this type of interfaces, mapping, concepts, everything we have to. From our side, basis side, PO system installations, PO system monitoring, interfaces monitoring. So are there any, sometimes what happens? So if the size message data size is very huge, then the data will get stuck into the PO system itself. So means PO means Java system. If the Java having lack of memory, then it will not process the other interfaces also will be impacted. So entire system will be impacted. Then there is a data is sitting here, is not moving to the some other system. Then you may face the some performance issues as well here. So that's the reason. So we may have to carefully monitor the PO systems, stop and start, PO systems upgrade, Java systems upgrade using the spam, some tool or telnet tool, we can use it. So SLDs. So this type of technical work, we may have to perform it. That integrations work, integrations between the systems will be taken care of by the integration team. Means the PI functional team, there is a dedicated functional team for PI. So they will take care of this work here. Dedicated team, they will take care of this work here. That is called the PI. So PO system. This is a very important here. So normally how the Java systems we will monitor it. Same way we have to monitor here. Okay. Any questions here?
Yeah,
Organizational
Ravi.
landscape means, yeah.
So, the main thing we have to do in PO is go and monitor the messages, and if the messages are throwing any errors, we need to resolve all that in PO system, not worry about the other system. As long as the RFCs and the destinations are
Right.
set correctly and they're functioning fine, then we have to look at the messages and then troubleshoot the messages what we're getting in PO system.
Right. So in case of RFC destination, technical errors, maybe communication problem, user ID password problem. Why? Because in the pivot time, pivot system, they will create the mapping via user ID password, some SFTP adapters, they will use it. So while creation that mapping time, they will maintain the user ID password. In case of that user password is locked or password is expired, so then the interfaces, it won't work. Interface, it won't pick up the data. So why? Because interfaces started failing here. Here in the PO system, we have the URLs here. So one is the runtime workbench or PI There is a URLs here. Using these tools, we can monitor it and we can see what is the error exactly here. Sometimes the data fault or everything is okay. Sometimes the data fault. In case of data fault issue, then that will be dealt by the PO team only. So how they are placing the data into the ECC systems. Why? Because there is specific format. Why? Because everything will process via XML messages. For XML messages means there is a specific syntax for the XML messages. Sometimes what happens, they won't follow the UTF something, UTF, some UTC, some UTF. They will maintain the specific language format. The format is not correct also, then PI it won't pick up the data. It will ignore it. It will be failed into the in this system itself only. So maybe that data fault related they will take care of. Any technical error, user ID, password, destinations are not working, system is down. So maybe it is sending to the BW, BW is down, then we need to start up the BW. So this kind of technical things we have to take care. So here troubleshooting part in the Java, we have so default trace logs in the J2EE cluster server 0. We have the default trace logs here. Default trace logs here in the system. So there we can find out the most useful information here. So J2EE, so cluster server 0 log. Here you have the default trace information. So what interface, how it is failing, what is the error, data fault. So all the useful information we can see it from here. All the information we can find out from the default trace files here. This analysis is very important here. Third party certificates are going to expire, it is unable to connect it. So some receiver is not able to receive it here. So all those things we can find out the information here in this default trace files. Based on that, we can troubleshoot the issues.
Thank you, Ravi. This was helpful. Thank you.
So configuration part, we can check it out, but if you enable, we have not enabled any PO things here. If you enable the PO things, but we can check it out here. There are some tools here. How the teams they will connect it here. How the teams they will connect it here. From our side, our administration PO tools. That's we will call it as the PO tools here. So here we can use the PIMon or the runtime workbench. This is for the monitoring the channels. So monitoring the channels, interfaces, messages, if any error, everything we can find out from here. So the PI team, they will use the integration directory, enterprise service repository. They are the URLs here. So they will use this URLs, ID and ESR repositories for configuration perspective. Means which system, where to pick it out, and once it is there in the here, then how to convert that entry, then it will move to the another system. So like that, they will do the mappings, configurations. So in the ID, ESR, they will do the configurations here. So monitoring part, we will take care of this one here. Then SLD. So if you want to connect to this system should be registered into the SLD. So that SLD, technical system creations, business system creations, it's our responsibility. Only mappings, configuration, they will perform it. So remaining things they will also do the monitoring as part of their activity. So, but we can also, with daily basis, we will also do the monitoring here. If any issues, we will inform to the functionality. So what is the difference between Hana replication, high availability, disaster recovery, DR drill, failback, failover? Oh, you mentioned a lot of things here. Okay. So here the replication. So Hana high availability means we have the primary system, we have the secondary system. In case primary down, we have the secondary is available, so it will take care of the responsibilities here. This is the HA scenario, right? So normally scenario is like primary, secondary, and DR, disaster recovery site. This is in the different zone. This is in the different zone. This is in the one zone. This is in the different zone. Means this is in the US. This is in the UK data center. This is the Hana primary. Hana primary. This is the Hana secondary system. This is the DR, disaster recovery, same for HANA. So what will happen here? This is the US or somewhere. This is the UK data center here. So some critical applications, especially for the banking sector, some critical applications, they will maintain the critical applications. They will maintain the some high availability disaster recovery concepts. They will enable it here. So what they will do for all the SAP applications, suppose this is the SAP application here. So all the SAP application will connect to the, so in middle there is a virtual IP concept. It will connect to the this HANA host. It will connect to the this HANA host. So here it will connect it here, right? This is the primary, secondary. First primary, first it will connect it here. So then users are SAP, users are doing the transactions, means it will store the data here. So same kind of data will be replicated. That is a replication, will be replicated to the secondary also. The same kind of data, it will replicated to the secondary also here. In case of what happens in the middle of the transaction, something is happened, our primary is down, then immediately the secondary will be the primary here. But what about the data? So data we are enable the replication, right? That is called the HANA replication. We will enable it here. Here the replication we will enable from the primary to secondary. Hello, madam. आदाब जी. Hello.
Yeah, Ravi, we can hear you.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, there is a power fluctuation. Yeah. So SAP users will do the transactions here. So they are SAP is connecting to the virtual IP of this primary and secondary. So this virtual IP will point to the either primary or secondary. So here it is pointing to the primary here. All the data they are doing here, then how the data transfer will happen here. So via replication, that will be via replication, that will be transferred to the via replication, that will be transferred to the secondary DB here. Why? Because same copy of data should be available here. In case of primary down, immediately your virtual IP will point to the secondary. So this will be the primary. Even though this is down, you have the another database, right? It is SAP system will connect to the secondary database here. So there is no impact. There is no business impact, nothing here. Immediately it will connect to the here. So they will connect it to the secondary database here. So primary is down, it will connect to the secondary automatically here. So then the replication is already happening. So data also available here. Whatever the data is there here, user done the some passwords or something, same data is available here also. So there are no issues with the data part here. There are no issues with the data here in this case here. So in case of so what will happen? Same kind of data, primary to secondary, then primary to disaster recovery also, the other DR site also. Why? Because here within in the US, one primary is down, it will go to the secondary. In the entire in the country, something power fluctuations or something is happened, entire data center is down, entire your disaster data center is down, in that case, what will happen? Entire DR center is happen. Then you have the country banking services are there in the all our countries. But in one country, our data center is down, there is a huge impact for their business, banking business, right? So no one cannot do any transactions, nothing. Why? Because banking server is down here. Primary is down, secondary is down. So, but we have the DR, disaster recovery mechanism. There is a one more server they will introduce in the different country, different data center. So in this case, what will happen? We have the data, already data primary to secondary, not only primary secondary. Here, then data primary to disaster recovery, it is also happening here. The data will be replicated to the here also here. Then in this case, they will bring up the DR state, then SAP will connect to the here, SAP they will connect to the here, they will start the transactions business from here. So even though one country your business is down, another country, you have the other countries, your business, there is no impact. They will start the DR box, disaster recovery, then they will start the business here from applications. So, but what about the data here? Data you have already here, right? So that's why in case of emergency situations, whether my data is moving to the DR site or not, why? Because from primary to secondary, we have the primary to secondary, we have the concept is called the log replay mechanism and synchronous mode, we will choose it here. But primary to DR site, we will use the asynchronous mode. Why? Because if you choose the synchronous mode for DR also, there is a issue. So that's why we will choose the asynchronous mechanism, which means acknowledgement is not required from, in this case, from the DR site here. So for this one, maybe yearly once or 18 months once, what we will do, DR drills, DR test. What we will do, we will stop all the production operations or something, or while production is running, one weekend, we will bring up the DR. So we will see whether all the data we are receiving to the here or not. That is called the DR drill. That is called the DR drill here. In that case, what they will do, they will do some transactions here. So some data creation, some users creation, some testing, printers creation, they will do it here. Then immediately they will stop here. Immediately they will they will start the DR site. Then they will check it out, whether the same data is replicating to the here or not, how much time it is taking. So this kind of test is called the DR drills. DR drills here. DR drills here. So which means in case of something happens, we have the fallback mechanisms, right? We can just to fail over the services to the here. Once everything is done, then we can, once everything is primary site, ES site, where the power fluctuations are done, there is no natural calamity, everything is okay. Then we can bring up the servers, we can repoint the SAP systems to the here. That is called the failback. Failover to the primary to secondary. Failback means again backing to the your original site. Why? Because DR site, does it not the dedicated resources they will use it. Why? Because only yearly ones or emergency cases they will bring up. So it's not such that much of hardware they will not use lowest hardware some customers. So in this case, so they will use it, especially if you take the banking servers. So DR servers are very important. In case of primary entire hardware, it's a way because it's a hardwares. So not sure what will happen. And so in this case, your DR disaster recovery will help. So will help to avoid the business impact and everything. What would you
So
do?
Ravi, when this happens, let's say your US region is down for like 4 hours, you point it to the UK region, and for that 4 hours, users are continuously accessing the UK region while you're working in the US region trying to bring back the servers up.
Right.
And then you use the CoroSync mechanism to like reverse replicate it, and then you point it back to your primary server in US.
Right. So once all the logs are shipped from DR to here, so then we can stop it. Then we can we can fail over all the services to the here.
Right. But during the downtime, users are continuously working on the DR system.
Yeah, continuously they will work on the DR systems.
Okay.
But we
My
need
assumption was
downtime to switch from one side to another side.
Yeah, definitely. With primary, secondary, there is no downtime is not required. But when you are bringing up the DR side, there is no automatic failure. DR side, there is no automatic failover. But manual failover is required. Manual failover means manually bringing up the database. Same host name, we will maintain it. Suppose if you here also some models are there here in the DR side also automatic failovers, some concepts are there here. Hana scale out architecture, Hana scale out, Hana scale up architecture, scale up, scale out. Scale out means here we will maintain the master node, slave node, standby node here. So in case of any one of the node is down, it will go to the standby node will be up automatically. Standby means DR node will be up automatically. So that is also one of the concept in the Hana automatic failover. Or you don't want to automate a failover to the DR side, well, because we are not sure whether the data is failing. Then in this case, some people they may maintain the manual failover. Manual means so when you are stopping the data here, then you need to manually bring up the systems database. You have to manually bring up. So then you can start the SAP applications from here. Well, because DR site not always services should be up and running here. So only database up and running, but SAP services it will be down only. So in that case, so we have to manually start the SAP systems. Then we can ask users to reconnect it. They will reconnect it. Primary to secondary, from here to here within the data center, there is a automatic failover failback mechanisms. When it is going to the DR side, so there is a manual, means there is a downtime is required here. We have to stop it on the weekend. Then we have to maybe if we want to test it, we have to stop it. In case of real DR scenario, so definitely there is a downtime. Downtime means in the minutes, but because the DR this site is down, then we have to bring up this one, right? SAP, this database we have to bring up, SAP applications we have to bring up, and everything we have to bring up. And your infra team, your network team, they will map the IPs, host name, similar map, they will map it so that applications will start, DB will start, and they will connect from their logon pads without any changes. Real DR scenario, they will manually connect to the DR site.
Yes, sir. We will add manually on launchpad, sir. It's a different IP, different subnet.
Some customers they will maintain the different host names. Some customers they will maintain the same host names sometimes. Host name same, but thing is, the IP different IPs. That's it.
We are maintaining the same, sir. Host names
Yeah.
are same, IPs
Yes.
are different.
Different. That's right.
Yearly once we are performing DR drills.
Yeah, we need to test it whether it will it's there, but we are not sure, right, how it will work in the real cases. So that's why yearly once we will test the data, whether the data, all the data is available here or not, it's syncing to the DR site or not. We have to test it. So that whenever the actual DR, we don't have any data loss activities, anything. That time we are sure. So we have the disaster recovery mechanism works in our organization also in case of any natural calamity unexpectedly. So then real disaster will works like this. So we are in the sure that time.
Sir, this is belonging to like replication only now, but in replication we need to configure the if primary is failure, then we send the data to secondary. If secondary failure, send the data to primary. Same like that only now. This DR also. I mean.
Yes. Actually, this is a manual actually. For cluster side, each infrastructure side, means hardware side, there are some tools actually. The cluster tools, we will call it as the cluster tools here. Clusters means high availability side. There is a Coro Sync and FaceMaker. These tools, what will happen in case of something happens in the primary, automatically it will fail over to the secondary. Automatically. Manual not required here. So as per this configuration, this tools configuration, these are the RPM packages, maybe services. These are the services in the OS level services, which introduced by the operating system team. So in case of one service is not running, maybe in the primary index server is not running. So then immediately it will try to start. Then even though it's not starting up, immediately it will fail over the data, all those things to the our secondary node by these tools. So we can also implement in our Linux level these tools to automatic failover.
FaceMaker is example to cluster.
Right. CoroSync and FaceMaker. There is a one more that is called the Stonit device. Stonit devices. These three will help for successful failover to the primary to secondary.
Okay. This high disaster recovery, DR, this replication, DR, any failure, and most they are the same category, like any failure of.
Yeah, in case it's moved to the secondary also, then secondary also entire data center is down. Entire your data primary data center is down here. Then in this case, not only primary is down, we have the secondary is down, we have the primary. So business.
The data center can down means this DR Hana is useful.
Yeah,
Send the data.
they will bring up the DR site and they will start the operations from here while we are working on the US side.
The primary and secondary only failure, then the data is sent to the DR only. But DR Hana not using they are not using the mostly. If this is US is failure, then
country in the data center is failure. Within the data center, primary, secondary failure, that is fine. But entire in the US, there is a power fluctuation or something, example. So then something natural calamity, something is happens, worst case scenario. So entire in the primary, secondary, not all, everything will be down right here. So that's why this they will maintain the one country, this they will maintain the different data center. So, but data will be replicated from here to here and here to here. The database level data will be replicated.
Okay.
So that data will be replicated from primary to secondary, then primary to DR site, the data will be replicated so that there are no real disasters. Even though disasters are there, we can bring up the systems so they can continue their business operations and everything from DR side. After that, when the primary is back, so they can configure the replication, all the logs and everything are there. It will be replicated to your primary site.
Primary site. Okay.
Okay. So I will share you some of the important
This document. Document.
Yeah, I will share
We
this.
have replication activity to do, but DR we don't have.
Yeah, I will share some of the example diagrams and documentation. Just you can go through it. Okay.
Yeah, but HANA parameter optimization means we have to change we have to go to configuration and give the IGI parameter change that only, no?
Yes, right. The configuration tab in the studio, we can change it, or in the OS level also we can change in the INI files. But in studio we can change it in studio.
Okay.
Yeah, Ravi, quickly for the garbage collection thing, the question that was posted, the answer would be look up at the thread and see if there's like any memory issues, right?
Yes. What would be the HANA thread is stopping the garbage collection process?
So you have to go and look at the thread.
Garbage collection is covered or not, sir? I am not sure.
Garbage collection means it's not the big topic actually. Garbage collection is the internal process. In the HANA, there is an internal process. During the garbage collection will happen automatically. It's not a big topic to discuss here. There is no way to discuss. Just only in the logs we can observe it here. First of all, you should understand what is garbage collection means. So garbage. So unused objects, unused data, unused objects will be cleaned up. It will be garbaged, unused objects. So it will happen. So maybe system internally, it will initiate this process, garbage collection. Sometimes what happens if there is a huge data is there for the garbage purpose, unused objects are there, it will do the cleanup. If the cleanup is doing very longer time, so definitely there is an impact on the some other operations. Maybe the cleanup is running during the backup time, during the delta merge. So garbage collection also started. It will impact the system performance. So manually we have to restart the system, or if you if you stop the thread also, the thread it won't stop it. So it won't stop it the thread also here. Only restart. Even though restart also, otherwise we have to wait for. Why? Because it's known issues. The garbage collections, the delta merge, the backups during this 3 process time, it will impact the huge impact on the systems. Huge impact on the performance impact on the systems here. So we have to, it's known issues, then we have to wait till completion of that one. That's why we will run this during the out of hours, the backups. The garbage collection will happen internally. Whenever there is a unused, uncollection, new version of the objects, the cleanup will be done by the system automatically. The data will be released. Sometimes if any block in a longer time, so that time it may take the little longer to complete it.
Okay, so what is the answer for this, sir? Like I posted in the chat.
But there is no straightforward answer here. Like
Okay.
so for every question there is no straightforward answer. Just we have to explain them. What would you if you Hana thread is what you do? Okay, what do you do if Hana thread is stopping the garbage collection process? Hana thread means Hana thread is stopping the garbage collection process. So garbage collection is the internal process. It will run automatically. So it will be initiated by the Hana thread. Hana thread only will continue. Hana thread will run the job. So that will run it. The garbage collection is stopping means, so maybe we need to check the logs in the index server log file. Are there any p time? There is some error messages here. Some check some algorithms. So there is an invalid argument. Something is there. We need to, based upon the error messages, we need to act it. So I cannot say like we need to patch it or we need to check the garbage collection GC parameters. Maybe we can increase it. Garbage collection, there is a parameter, GC allocation parameters. The collection process, we can increase it. If you increase the garbage collection process, parallel processing, it will be finished very quickly. So GC length, there are some recommendations from SAP. If you execute it, that parameter script, so it will give the how many garbage collection process we required, GC threads. So based on that, we can configure that one. Means we need to follow every 3 months, 4 months once, we need to follow the parameter recommendations from SAP and everything, we need to follow it.
Okay.
So maybe there is no straightforward question for the answer. So we have to explain the possible reasons, scenarios. So how to avoid means increasing the garbage collection process. Means we are not meeting the as per the SAP standard based upon your version.
Okay, sir.
Let me check. Let me cross check this one. I will update you what exactly the answer for this one.
Yes, actually, in interview they ask mostly errors, like what are the errors you got, what you do, like scenario-based question. So I'm just checking.
Yeah, for everything there is a index server log. There we need to cross check the exact error. Based upon the error, we need to act it. Maybe it's the Pete. There is some error messages. So I will send you the FAQ document. So there you will get some answers.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.